Da da danyo, what da dang dang, and go danyo, oh what da dang dang. This is the voice of the Patriot. Where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. This is the voice of the Patriot. And here we are not neutral, never claim to be. We have taken sides, the side of the truth. That is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth. Now this is our daily editorial, and today we have a number of beautiful issues to look at. I need you to come along, and we certainly will look at these things, okay? Now, my brother, my sister, from the newsreel, we endeavor to always keep it real. And this is how we are going to start with today's show. Now, I am reading this from Ghana Word. It says, Captain Kofi Amoabeng fears Ghana's toxic system would claim half of leaders. Prince Kofi Amoabeng has stated that his greatest fear is that the very environment is preparing young leaders to transform will ultimately consume them. His remarks came during the graduation and induction ceremony for the P.K. Amoabeng Scholars, where 19 graduates, including best graduates Solomon Boache and Lady Itra Raquel Nadu, completed the program, and 19 new inductees joined. Now they are fresh. They are ready to change the world. But when we throw them back into the toxic environment, and if there are 20 of them, I will pray hard that not more than 10 are changed by the system. Now his fears are quite genuine. He's raising some new leaders. The same thing we are doing with the young patriots. Nkrumah used to call them something else. My brother, my sister, the young pioneers, raising the youth. The Bible says that grow up the youth, grow up the children the way they should go, and they will never depart from that. Now, Kofi Amoabeng's fear is that, yes, the Bible has said that, but the environment is already toxic. So throwing these young souls back into the society, because no man is an island and no man stands alone, will certainly toxify them. And I'm saying that these fears are genuine. But again, this is what we should be looking at. Patriotism should be taught in all spheres of our Ghanaian lives. My brother, my sister, we need to raise the children the way we should raise them. And hope and pray that we have given them enough training, good enough training, to make them stand tough. It's like when you prepare your students for an exam. You don't really have to fear what kind of questions are thrown at them. Your only fear should be that when they get into the examination room, there should not be an earthquake. Neither should there be a volcanic eruption to tear down the whole school building. If only they still remain in the classroom with the answer sheets and pens and pencils, they should be able to deliver. It's like the way you train up your child, and you are sure that the child has been trained well. No amount of temptations will bring this child down. You need to keep up with the child. Now, the message to Captain Kofi Amoabeng is, you've done well training up the young ones. This is what we've been doing. Going from school to school, trying to raise young patriots, like Kwame Nkrumah raised the young pioneers. Their duty is to be able to stand with our nation, because soon they will be the leaders, and we will be going in retirement. Yes, we'll be going to rest. We will not be on retirement. We would be in retirement. Now, when we retire, it's a whole period. Whilst we are in retirement, we watch them refiring. We watch them raise the banners of this nation the way we train them to do. And that is what makes us extremely happy. Now, you don't train up leaders. You don't train up pioneers. You don't train up patriots and let them go just like that. No. You keep up with them. They are like new recruits. In the Christian churches, they say new converts. When you go out to circle and convert 5 prostitutes to Christ, what do? You must make sure that at least every night you pay them a visit. Spend time with them. Remind them about the new conviction to stay away from the roads, or better still, the streets in night walking. My brother, my sister, but in our society, we are more interested in just the numbers, the majority. Right after we have trained them, we are done with them. We are looking for another set of sponsorships to train more. Do we follow up? How many of our teachers, after we have graduated, follow up on us? How many? My brother, my sister, in schools in America, in England, in Japan, in Korea, in the United Kingdom, when students finish school, a lot of their schools still contact them to find out what they are doing with the training they had in the school. They find out what else they can do to support them. Show me one teacher in your life as a student who keeps on calling you. Show me one doctor that you visit in Ghana that you have called back to say thank you for taking care of me. And do the doctors and nurses also follow up? No. There are too many patients. They have lost track of how many patients they have treated. My brother, my sister, some of these things should be taken so personal. I was in England, my brother, my sister, for holidays. Now, when I sat in every bus, any point where the bus stopped and people were coming down, descending, even if it was 1 million people on the bus, each one of them went up to the driver and said, thank you. In those days, I don't know if they still say that. They say, tan. I don't know if that's the short way of saying thank you. Those of you who live in England, what is tan? But the drivers understand that to be thank you. So what happens is that when the driver arrives, he will sit down for everybody to disembark. You could call it descend. Everyone says thanks, thank you, tan, as they say. When I first got to England, that was the thing my Ghanaian friends told me. in 2004. They said, Blakk Rasta, anytime you join a public bus, when you are descending, you say "turn" to the driver. And I said, what's that, "turn"? He said, oh, that's their way of saying thank you. Imagine, my brother, they are orientating you, socializing you. This is what is called socialization. Raising leaders is socialization. Raising up a child in a certain proper way is socialization. This thing that Kofi Amoabeng is talking about should never be taken lightly. I move with my group from school to school, secondary schools, my brother, my sister, and we go around talking to the students about patriotism. We sing patriotic songs. Before we leave, we give them prizes for answering questions on patriotism and Pan-Africanism. And then we erect a flag in the school, whether they have one or not, and most of the schools don't. We erect a flag, take pictures, videos, and leave. My brother, if this continues for the next 20 years, you can imagine how many great leaders will be bringing out. And we follow up on them. You can never try to raise leaders without checking up on them. You have to update them on exactly what you taught them and train them on. That's what a good teacher does. In England, I said, everyone on the bus says "turn." In my days, anytime an aeroplane flew and landed, everybody clapped for the pilot. Today they don't do it. They see it as an oof. How many people walk up to the cockpit and whisper a thank you to the pilot? Yet, let the pilot make a small mistake. I wouldn't even talk about crashing. They don't land properly. Everyone would like to see the face of that lousy pilot. Let the doctor make a small mistake and misdiagnose. Everybody would like to see the face of the doctor. Yet, not many people call back the doctor to say thank you. Years back, my little daughter was sick. I think she had pneumonia, right? Yes, pneumonia. And it's a killer. She kept sleeping and sleeping. And ignorantly, she was being fed with whatever medicines that we thought could have helped her. At a point, I insisted, when everyone was gone, and carried the little girl to the hospital myself. And when I got to the hospital, the doctor looked at the girl and diagnosed her. It was pneumonia. And started taking care of the Akaway at Makati Junction there. My brother, my sister, it was more serious than we thought. Long story cut short, the little girl was healed. They had to bring this oxygen thing on her and do all sorts of things. She was healed after a few days. It was very hectic. I saw how the nurses and doctors did their work. In fact, of course, they knew the popular face, the famous face of Blakk Rasta. So everyone wanted to be seen and be recognized. Most of them wanted to say thank you for all that you have done for this great nation. And I was excited about it. But these doctors and nurses equally gave attention to every other patient in the ward. When my little daughter got well, in my trouble, I couldn't ask the name of the doctor, but I heard everyone call him Headmaster. Headmaster. They were all calling him Headmaster. His head wasn't big, no, but they were calling him Headmaster. At least I could go back to the hospital and say, is Headmaster there? The doctor called Headmaster. Is he still here? And I did. I mentioned him on radio over and over, went to say thank you. Even after 2 years, I still went to the doctor to say, Doc, thank you for taking care of my little daughter. How many of you do that? I'm not trying to moralize it on anybody. But how many of you return to your doctors and say, thank you, doc? How many of you say thank you to the nurse? For you, oh, the nurse has been paid. The doctor gets paid for what he has done. You are not courteous enough to call back your doctor and say, hey, doc, the diagnosis was good. Oh, you gave me some good medicine. No. It's un-Ghanaian of us to say thank you to doctors, to nurses, soldiers, police, fire officers. When my house is on fire and fire people come and put off the fire, my brother, we rather blame them for not coming early or not quenching the fire early, rather than walking up to the commander to say, oh, commander, or fire officer, I don't know how they call their bosses, station officer, thank you so much. I appreciate you for what you did. My whole house would have gone down and my investment would have been zero. Though I lost 30%, I still have 70% to latch onto. How many of us do that? I call every doctor, every nurse who has ever given me advice to say thank you. My teachers, I still call them. Those of you who follow me on Facebook, my class 4 teacher, recently I put him out there. Class 4, we used to call him Teacher Red. To say thank you, teacher. Class 4. Can you imagine? Class 4. Can you imagine how old I was? I was 8 years. 8. Today I'm 51, pushing 52 next year. How many of us do that? How many of us walk to our employers and say, oh, thank you for this job. Much as I'm working hard, without this job, I would never have been able to feed my family. No, we are rather looking for salary increases and demeaning the work. Stealing from our employers and employers. How many of us said thank you to our husbands? How many of us said thank you to our wives? It's the duty of my wife to cook. I have provided the money. Why should I say thank you? My brother, thank you is the biggest medicine anybody could have. To cut a long story short, Kofi Amoabeng is doing a great job. If I happen to meet him, I will shake his hand. He himself recently went on a tumultuous vicissitudes of life journey. Oh yes, he went through hell. In fact, his face that used to be oval and shiny, all of a sudden became mongoloid and very disfigured. Many people read poverty into his life. Suffering. Kofi Amoabeng, Johnny Walker. Today, he feels that leaders should be raised. Why? Because the society has become toxic. The toxicity of the society is enough to toxify the new generation. Hallelujah. And I support him. How many people will support Kofi Amoabeng to do this? My father always told me something, and I'm going to close on that. You know what he said? He said, much as you are training your children to be on the right path, every little opportunity you have, talk to other people's children too. Because if you don't, somebody's bad child might just set himself on fire close to your own child and drag your well-trained child into this stray bullet of a fire. Hallelujah. Our slogan at Office of the Patriot is our country, and you respond, or nothing. We also say it in French. Notre pays, then you respond, ou rien. Now the next thing I want to look at is also taken from Ghana Web, and it says students share mixed experience after 2025 WASSCE. Some students who sat for the 2025 West African Senior Secondary Certificate Examination, WASSCE, have opened up about their experiences, highlighting both the challenges and the emotional toll of the process. Now, speaking anonymously with Joy News and shared on X, several candidates expressed disappointment that despite the preparations, the results did not reflect the efforts they had invested. One student explained that the examination was their first major academic test on such a scale, and the pressure to perform was overwhelming. This was our very first WASSCE experience, and honestly, the pressure was intense. The student shared. Another candidate pointed out that the core mathematics subject was particularly challenging. They noted that many students struggled with the subject, describing it as one of the toughest papers in the entire examination. Core mathematics was extremely difficult. We had been practicing past questions, but the exam was nothing like what we are prepared for. Some of the problems were completely unfamiliar. One of them explained. For some, the difficulty of the maths paper contributed significantly to their poor performance. I'll leave it here. Yeah, baby, we at school. Yeah, Kofi, we go scatter them. Scatter them. Yeah, kwa ya beji. Awari fonunum kununum. We go faka them. Faka them. Yeah, we are. Yeah, be kwa sorry. Pastor Krano. We go faka him. Faka him. Yeah, Pierre. You better show mini skirts. We go scatter there. Scatter there. I listen to the little girls scattering the whole place, fucking the whole place. As to what they mean by that, I don't understand. My brother, my sister, sometimes it's hilarious, and married women are shaking. Especially that these days it's difficult to find a husband, a good husband. Hey, I said, these days it's so difficult to find a good husband. When you go to the churches, 99% of all the congregants, women. Hey, their prayer point is a man. And the pastors have come to know that. And the church is empty. Everyone is in front there. It's a good sign. Sadly, a lot of marriage miscarriages are happening. You know what I mean by that? Divorce. After they get the men, they realize, for a reason or the other, that this might not be their choice, or their prayer point has been answered, and therefore they don't really want to keep this marriage anymore. But long story cut short, it's not easy to get a husband. And when you get a husband, and some little school children who are supposed to be studying core mathematics, biology, physics, geography, are shouting that they are coming home to scatter them. Apart from scattering them, they go fuck at them. And when you look at the young girls, fresh, like Hamatan pawpaws. So the married women start to shake and shiver. There's a woman who is next to my house. When schools are about to close on vacation, she sits in front of her house to see who will come into her house and scatter there. She is watching to see which bad girl would come into her house and fuck at them. My brother, my sister, how can you be scattering and fucking and showering and expect to pass core mathematics? How? This is not a pornography hub. My brother, my sister, on a more serious note, I hear the education minister, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, sent a stern warning to all the schools that invigilation must be tight like a virgin. Tight. And because of that, a lot of the students were unable to cheat. One, teachers did not have the opportunity to write answers for students. Even with that, we are still hearing that some people who cannot write their names properly have passed. My brother, my sister, this is right opposite what Captain Amoabeng is looking forward to having. Are we training up our little ones to be able to take the mantle after we are in retirement? Or we are training them to scatter there, fuck there. My brother, my sister, smartphones are here, and we are getting to hear what we didn't hear when we were in school. In my days, when you were finishing school, you were in a hurry to return to the libraries at home, wait for your results, and be sure that you had passed. But you would have been ready for the next level. That's the kind of training I had. You finish secondary school, you are reading ahead what you would study at sixth form. After sixth form, you are reading ahead what you will study in the university. No, these ones, they scatter them. They fuck them. How can you scatter them, fuck them, and pass them? You will fail them. Congratulations to Haruna Idrisu. Now the boys are totally separated from the men. Let's get our educational system up there. I keep talking to my son, who is in one of these schools. I call him bro. I say, bro, if you joke and you don't pass, you're going to bring disgrace to yourself and disgrace to me. Because your father is a sharp guy. Man, been dread. If you go to school and follow those ones that fuck at them, scatter them, when you come home, I will scatter you. If you don't want me to scatter you, then you must study them harder. And he always keeps that at the back of his mind. Congratulations to all those who passed, those who couldn't. Go back to school and study. After you study them, you will pass them. To God be the glory.